Praises from whom all blessings flow, giving honor to the Spirit of Christ, which is the head of my life and the head of my church. I want to give honor to my pastor who wasn't there, but he was dealing with his grandbabies. So, Pastor Bowden, I got to talk to you. But let me explain something to y'all. Misery loves company. I had a wonderful time. Me and Mother, we was having the best time praising God, singing, eating, and fellowshipping. Mother brought me home. I thank God for that because they put us out. They put Mother out. They put her out. They told her get out. They told her she couldn't have something that I had gave her. But let me tell you, after getting home, I got a phone call from my children's father. He's dealing with prostate cancer, right? I couldn't even hear his conversation because the man upstairs was cussing. He also has prostate cancer. And he's so miserable. Instead of him thanking God for health, wealth, prosperity, life, he argues all the time. He's so miserable and bitter. And I had to come to let y'all know I'm not his company no more. And I'm not miserable. But I'm praising God in advance for healing, deliverance for the kid's father. And he just doesn't understand, like, shut up. I can't even have my own life because you are constantly bitter. Yeah, bitter, just bitter. Just mean, bitter, and mean-spirited. Loud talking. And now he talking above my head. He tried to call me, I blocked him because misery loves company. And I'm not miserable. I'm going through things in my life that I got to go through with grace, mercy, and understanding. But my understanding for him is over. Misery loves company. And I'm not miserable. I'm not miserable at all. I'm prayerful. I'm thankful. But it got to be something that in him that changes. Because he can't say he praised God and he loved God and God got him when all he do is cuss, raise hell, talk trash, and then just loud talking, like miserable. Like, instead of you saying, God, bless me for living another day, he just miserable, just arguing with people in the house over nothing. Nothing. Just nothing. Just nothing. 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 He's talking about nothing. Right now he cursing, just cursing. Like a sailor, just curse. He don't give a F, this, that, this, and the other. I tried to talk to him. I told him, peace be still. Silence is golden. He my neighbor, he upstairs. But guess what? I don't care. I'm not answering his calls no more. I'm not accepting his invitations. I don't want his apologies because misery loves company and I'm no longer his company. Yeah, I am my brother's keeper. But one thing about me, you need to know. I came right on now to tell y'all, misery loves company. And don't be miserable all your life. You got to be comfortable. You got to be in the skin that you in. And his skin that he in is just bitter. Bitter, like a cup of bitter. Bitter. I bought Mother some kombucha that I made. Somebody broke it. I'm not going to say First Lady, but First Lady broke it. But it's okay because I had another one for her. And she said, oh, it tastes good. You just got to drink a little bit at a time. I said, yeah, that's fine. Because it's a prebiotic and a probiotic. It help you, your digestive system and everything. And they gave her a plate that was too much food. And she said she got a little stomach. How dare they do that? But they put us out. But it's okay. Because we was praising God and laughing, and Kiki was talking about my granddaughter. And I was telling her, Simone is a beast. Simone is the type of child that will call you and tell me, Nana, what you doing? Is you coming over? Can I come over? Can my mama send an Uber for me? And I miss her. I do. But I gave her stuff away to somebody else because that misery doesn't need my company either. I miss her. I love her. But I have to move on. I have to let go and let my daughter raise her daughter however she sees fit. But misery loves company, and I'm not miserable. I have to bury my mother's best friend. June 11th, I will be traveling to Miami to have a homegoing for my mother's best friend. She was a woman of God. She was a woman who served God. She developed Alzheimer's, and she would forget, but she would remember. And the last time I saw her, I got a picture of her and I hugged her. And I told her, I said, God is watching you. If you're ready to go, go. Times. And she kept saying, but I want to know why. I want to know why. I want to know why. And she was talking about the children. But right now, the children are, one is whole. She's funny. I love her, Inez Dennison. And I'm going to make sure I be there to support her and her family. Because some of the kids didn't show up. Some of the kids she wanted to come by didn't come by. And she just wanted to know in her whole spirit, like, why? And I said, don't ask God why. Don't ask God why. The people that are here need to be here. The people that are by your side are by your side. The people that love you, love you. The children that you're missing, don't worry about them. Because in the end, they're going to have to live without you. And it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Rest your weary head. If you want to go home, go home. Because to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. You know that, right? And she said, yeah, I know. But I just want to know why. I said, don't ask God why. Never question God. Because if you question God, that means you're not ready or prepared for what God has in store. Don't worry. We hugged each other. And I said, I love you, Mama. She said, I love you too, baby. She said, you're so skinny. I said, I know. I'm tiny. She said, yeah, but you look good. You still look like your mama. I said, thank you, Mom. I love you. And I'm going to celebrate her life. Because I know her life was full. She had a whole bunch of kids. Her and her husband stayed next door. And my mama used to sit on the porch with her and talk about me. About how disrespectful I was and how outrageous I was and the things that I did. But they sat down on the porch and drank coffee. They made a friendship cake. She made a friendship cake. And she would make my mama this friendship cake. And they would just sit and talk at the table. And her husband has been a pastor of a church. She's been a pastor. Her husband passed on through the same thing. But she was faithful to her calling. She's faithful to God. And I'm going to be faithful to her by honoring her and wearing white. See, white means a lot of things to people. Purity, things of that nature. But white also means rejoice. The saints wear white when we go to a funeral because we know to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And so I'm going to put on my white dress and I'm going to sing my songs. And we burying her in a church that she literally ministered, worked, and did in. And that thing is something we need to celebrate. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. I know where she is. She's in heaven with my mama, her husband. She's with her best friend and they make a friendship cake. But misery loves company. No regard of what's going on in my life, but just still cussing and raising hell. Sorry, y'all, hell, just pure hell. but misery loves company. And I will sit here and tell y'all, I'm not miserable. I'm not crying. I'm praying for the kid's father because he is going through it. And we won't know the actual diagnosis for 2 to 3 weeks. But then again, I got to move on and I got to go to New York and help him make decisions. And right now, he just in a headspace that I just pray to God that he keeps him whole. We find out what it is. We work through it as a team because that is the kid's father. And he does deserve love and respect from his ex-wife, who will always be there for him, no matter what, because he's still my baby daddy. I'm sorry. He's my baby daddy. But this has to be a decision that he has someone he can confide in, which is me. He always says, I love you. And he always says, I miss my wife. But he knows we know each other. We've been knowing each other 20 plus, my son is 26, 28 years. We've been together for 28 years. We've known each other for longer than that. But in the same thing, they both have prostate. He talking about he taking care of his. But if God would shut off his eyes tomorrow, what would they say about him? He don't care. He don't care that God gave him grace and mercy and understanding. He in a wheelchair. He can't get up. He can't move. So why argue with the people that you living with? See, just cursing. Don't care. Don't care. Just don't care. Don't care how he loud talk, how he curse, how he talk. But then he got prostate cancer and he can't move around like he want to. And he gambles. And when he loses money, he loses his mind. But see, that's the thing about me. I don't lose my mind. If money doesn't come to me, I bless God anyway. Because you know what? It'll come when it comes. Time will come when it comes. He did some illegal stuff and they can take everything he got, but he's so better. I want to say that he can be on the cross right now, having a Jesus moment and saying, take this bitter cup from me. Give me peace that surpasses all understanding. Let my head be anointed with oil. God, I thank you for giving me life, health, and strength. I may not have the use and activities of all my limbs, but I thank God for waking me up. No. He just better. And I've tried to talk to him and tell him, stop feeding energy. I've tried to reason with him and tell him be quiet. Sometimes stuff doesn't need a response. I've preached to him, but no more. No more. Because he's so miserable and bitter. I can't be into anything that's bitter and negative. My energy is over it. I'm exhausted from trying to pour into someone who can't pour back into himself. Just miserable. I bless y'all. I thank y'all for listening. I thank y'all for your patience, for your love, for your understanding. But be aware that sometimes things happen in your life for a reason. And God can give you a turnaround if you just only believe. But you're so miserable. His sisters and them say the same thing. He just argued with himself. It's just over. I'm done. But I just want to let y'all know God is in control of everything. And if he doesn't give me another day, I want to tell him thank you. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your kindness as I go to sleep. Because I'm going to bed right now. And I want to take my medicine and just go to sleep. But I got to listen to him before I go to sleep. And I'm trying to keep myself at a pace where I can say to myself, you shall live and not die. And I'm not speaking about him. I'm speaking over the children's father, that he shall live and not die. And if it is his time to die, let me make a big decision and be by his side when he transitions, or when he feels he's not doing this or not doing that, or not doing this or not doing that. I'm going to be there. And that's in New York. Yes, I'm going to Brooklyn in a couple of weeks, because I have to prepare myself to be strong for him, to keep a head up for him, to keep a positive energy and feed that versus feeding what he is dealing with. And I told him today, I love you. He didn't say it back. I said, excuse me, what, wait a minute. Did you not hear me? I said, I love you. He told me something, oh, it's funny. It normally doesn't come from you like that. I said, no, let me explain something to you. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm supportive. We're going to get through this as a team. We are a team. We may not have been a team to raise our children, but we are a team in this situation. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. If you want to do it, we'll do it. But one thing we will do is make decisions together. You are not alone in this. But this person upstairs, he doesn't deserve my love. He doesn't deserve my honor. He doesn't deserve my respect. He doesn't deserve my ministry. He doesn't deserve anything that I have. Because what I had to offer him, he still hasn't used it. Why cast your pearls upon swine so they can render you with it? Remember that scripture. Stop throwing yourself out to people who are miserable and bitter. Be blessed, people. I love y'all. I'm praying. Pray for me as I pray for you. I'm going to anoint my head with oil, and I'll be back in the morning to tell y'all another ministry from Salvation from the Sinner, LLC. I love you. I pray for you. I hope God is interceding in everything that everyone is going through in their ministry, that we celebrate our homegoing of the lovely Catherine Denison, and that we as a human love each other as Christ has loved the church. And no matter what we go through, if they're miserable, they don't need your company. I love y'all. Good night.